The crying started at 30,000 feet. I pressed my forehead against the window, fingers white-knuckled around the armrest, counting heartbeats to distract from the sound. The suppressants I'd swallowed before boarding were already failing. I could taste them dissolving at the back of my throat. Bitter, metallic, useless. The baby screamed again. Not a tantrum, not hunger, terror. The kind that clawed through omega instincts like fishhooks. I forced my eyes shut. Not your problem. Not your place. Not your. The scent hit me. Alpha pheromones. Two distinct signatures flooding the cabin. Ozone and gunpowder. Leather and smoke. Identical in intensity. Mirror images of dominance that made my suppressants disintegrate like wet paper. Twin alphas. I didn't need to look to know who they were. Everyone on this private jet knew the Volkov brothers. Mafia royalty. The kind of men whose names you whispered in backrooms, never in daylight. The baby's cry pitched higher. Someone 3 rows ahead muttered a curse. A woman across the aisle shifted in her seat, deliberately turning away. The flight attendant froze mid-step, tray rattling in her hands. No one moved toward the sound. No one dared. I cracked my eyes open. They were standing now. Both of them. Identical dark suits tailored to bodies built for violence. Identical sharp jawlines. Identical silver eyes that scanned the cabin like wolves deciding which throat to tear first. One of them held the baby. The child couldn't be more than 6 months old. His face was flushed crimson, tiny fists shaking, mouth open in a silent scream before the next wail broke free. The alpha holding him, the one in the charcoal suit, had his jaw clenched so hard I could see the muscle jumping beneath his skin. His scent fractured just for a second. Panic bled through the edges of his control. The other twin, olive green suit, same lethal grace, moved closer. His hand hovered near the baby's back, but didn't touch. His expression was stone, but his eyes betrayed him. Desperation. The baby choked on his own cry, breath hitching in that terrible way that meant his nervous system was overloading. I'd heard that sound before. In shelters. In safe houses. In the arms of omegas who'd been pushed past breaking. My chest tightened. Not your problem. The alpha and charcoal rocked the baby. It didn't help. His brother leaned in, murmuring something too quiet to hear. The baby only screamed louder. The man's scent spiked, sharp, aggressive, a dominance display he couldn't suppress. The baby's cry became a shriek. I was standing before I realized I'd moved. He's reacting to stress, I said, my voice cut through the engine hum, through the crying, through the suffocating weight of alpha authority filling the cabin like smoke. Both twins turned at the exact same moment. Silver eyes locked onto me. Predator focus. The kind that strips you bare and catalogs every weakness in under 3 seconds. The cabin seemed to shrink. You're an omega, the one in charcoal said. Not a question. A statement of fact delivered like a whipping. Yes. Then keep your instincts leashed. His tone could cut glass. The baby screamed, so hard he gagged. The alpha froze, every muscle in his body going rigid. His knuckles were white where they cradled the child. His brother's hand finally landed on the baby's back. Too rough, too controlled, too desperate. It made it worse. I took a breath. My suppressants were gone now, burned through by proximity to this much concentrated dominance. I could feel my own sense slipping free, soft, unguarded, the kind that mocked me as untouched. Virgin Omega. Exactly the kind predators noticed first. I can calm him, I said. The twin in olive green stepped forward. His presence flared like a struck match. You think offering yourself is smart? I think letting him suffer isn't. Silence snapped tight. The baby's cry broke into shuddering, gasping sobs. His little body convulsed. The alpha holding him looked down at the child with an expression I wasn't prepared for. Helplessness. Unfiltered. The kind that cracks through even the most ruthless control. He swallowed. Do it, he said quietly. Then his eyes cut to mine, glacial, deadly. But if you harm him, I won't. I didn't wait for more permission. I moved down the aisle, each step measured, hands visible at my sides. The olive-green twin tracked my every movement like a sniper. The one holding the baby shifted slightly, angling his body between me and the child. Protective. I stopped 2 feet away. Close enough. Not threatening. May I sit? The alpha in charcoal jerked his chin toward the empty seat across from him. I sank into it, angling my body away from both twins, making myself smaller. Non-threatening. I lowered my gaze. Not submission, just softness. I let my scent barriers drop another degree. Just enough regulation, not seduction. Calm layered over calm over calm. The baby's cry stuttered. I breathed slowly, deliberately. In through my nose, out through my mouth. My hands rested loose in my lap. I hummed. Barely audible, just a vibration in my chest. The child's wailing fractured. One tiny fist uncurled. His breathing hitched, slowed, hitched again, then stopped. Screaming. The silence was so sudden it felt like a thunderclap. The baby hiccuped once, twice. His eyes drifted shut. His body went slack against the alpha's chest, exhausted by his own terror. The cabin exhaled as one. I kept humming, kept my sense steady. The alpha holding the baby stared at me like I'd just rewritten the laws of physics. "What are you?" he whispered. I met his eyes. Silver. Burning. Someone who knows fear. I answered. And how to stop it from spreading. The baby's breathing deepened. Sleep took him under. The twin in olive green moved closer, crouching until we were eye level. This close, I could see the scar along his jaw, the calculation behind his gaze. "You're untouched," he said. Not a question. I stiffened. Yes. Interest sparked in those silver depths. Sharp. Dangerous. That's when I realized my second mistake. The first was speaking. The second was letting them see exactly what I was. The alpha in charcoal carefully adjusted his hold on the sleeping baby. His brother stood, movements predatory and smooth. "What's your name, Omega?" the one in olive green asked. I hesitated. "Rowan." "Rowan." He tasted my name like wine. "You just saved our heir's life." The word landed like a stone in my gut. "He was scared," I said carefully. "Not dying." "Same thing," the alpha in charcoal murmured, still staring at the sleeping child. "When you're 6 months old and someone's already tried to kill you." The air froze in my lungs. The twin in olive green's mouth curled. It wasn't a smile. "Welcome to our world, Rowan." He leaned close enough that only I could hear him. "And just so you know," his scent wrapped around me like a noose, "you just put yourself on our radar." I nodded slowly. His eyes gleamed. "Good." The plane began its descent. Outside the window, city lights glittered like broken glass. The baby woke as we taxied, his eyes luttering open, pale blue, unfocused. And for one perfect second, there was silence. Then his face crumpled. "No, no, no." The alpha in charcoal shifted, trying to rock him. The crying started again, softer this time, but building. I stayed in my seat, hands folded, gaze down. "Not your place anymore. You helped. That's enough." "Rowan." The olive green twin's voice cut through the cabin, command wrapped in silk. I looked up. He was watching me with the focus of a man used to being obeyed. His brother was already standing, bouncing the baby gently, desperately. The child's cries ratcheted higher. "I need you to do it again," the standing alpha said. Not a request. I rose slowly. The other passengers were staring now, some with curiosity, most with fear. And Omega didn't approach alphas like these unless invited. Didn't intrude on their space. Didn't. The baby shrieked. Across the aisle, the alpha in charcoal sat. Wait. His brother stood behind him like a sentinel. I lowered myself into the seat directly across from them, closer than before. "May I?" I extended my hands, palms up. The alpha's jaw worked. Then he nodded. I didn't take the baby. Instead, I reached out slowly, fingertips barely brushing the child's tiny hand. He latched on instinctively, curling his fist around my index finger. The crying cut in half. I hummed again, lowered my scent barriers completely, let my presence fill the space between us. Not dominant, not submissive, just there. Safe, steady. The baby's breathing slowed. "How are you doing that?" the olive green twin asked. "He's overwhelmed by dominance pheromones," I explained quietly, keeping my eyes on the child. "Your scents are protective, but they're too strong. He doesn't have the development yet to process them, so his nervous system interprets it as threat." Where his father's, the alpha holding the baby, sounded almost offended. "I know," I said gently, "but instinct doesn't know that. Not at this age. Not after trauma." Silence. The baby's eyes drifted closed. "You said someone tried to kill him," I continued, voice barely above a whisper. "His body remembers. Every time your scents spike with stress or anger or fear, he remembers." The alpha in charcoal looked down at his son. Something broke across his face. Grief, rage, guilt, all tangled together. "So what do we do?" he asked roughly. "You regulate first," I said. "Control your pheromones before you hold him. And you let him near someone whose scent reads as safe." I paused. "Someone like me. Someone like you," the olive green twin echoed. The baby was asleep now, my fingers still caught in his tiny fist. His breathing was deep and even. The tension had bled out of his small body completely. The olive green twin crouched beside his brother's seat. "Do you have a price, Omega?" My stomach tightened. "I don't. Everyone has a price." His voice was soft, lethal. "Name it. I don't want anything from you." "Liar." He tilted his head. "You want safety. You want protection. You want someone powerful enough to stand between you and whatever you're running from." My breath caught. "How do you?" "We can smell fear," he said, silver eyes boring into mine. "And guilt. And shame. You're running from something, Rowan. Something bad enough that you hide it under suppressants and silence." "Stop," the other twin said quietly. His brother did immediately. The alpha holding the baby shifted carefully, mindful of the sleeping child. "My name is Damon," he said. "This is Nikolai." The olive green twin, Nikolai. "We're not going to hurt you, Rowan. But my brother's right. You did something for us. We owe you, and we always pay our debts." I carefully extracted my finger from the baby's grip. His hand flexed once, then relaxed. "I don't need payment. You need something," Nikolai camened. "Or you wouldn't have spoken up. Omega is like you, untouched, suppressed, hiding. Don't draw attention unless they have no other choice." The plane came to a full stop. The seatbelt sign chimed off. Damon stood smoothly, baby cradled against his chest. Nikolai rose a heartbeat later. They moved like choreographed violence, perfectly synchronized, perfectly controlled. "We're giving you our card," Damon said. "When you need us. And you will call." Nikolai pulled something from his jacket. A black business card, no name, just a phone number in Boston silver. He held it out. I didn't take it. "I won't need it." His smile was sharp enough to cut. "You already do." He tucked the card into my jacket pocket, his fingers brushing my chest, deliberate, possessive. A claim I hadn't agreed to. Then they were gone, walking down the aisle, the baby sleeping peacefully in Damon's arms. Other passengers pressed back into their seats as the twins passed. Fear and respect in equal measure. I stayed seated until the cabin emptied. Then I pulled out the card. The number stared back at me. I should throw it away. I slid it back into my pocket instead. I made it 3 days. 3 days of normal. Of working my shift at the bookstore. Of microwaving leftovers. Of pretending I didn't spend 40 minutes calming a mafia heir, while his fathers watched me like I was prey. On the 4th day, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "We need you. Now." No signature. None required. I deleted the message. 10 minutes later, "The baby won't stop. You're the only one who can help." I blocked the number. 20 minutes later, a different number. "Please. That single word made my chest ache. I turned off my phone. That night, I woke to the sound of my apartment door slamming open. I bolted upright, heart in my throat, instinct screaming danger, danger, danger. The lights flicked on. Damon and Nikolai stood in my bedroom doorway. Between them, wrapped in a blanket, the baby wailed. What? How did you? I scrambled back against my headboard. You ignored our messages, Nikolai said calmly, as if breaking into someone's home was perfectly reasonable. So you broke in? My voice cracked. You were unavailable, Damon countered. His jaw was tight. His scent was fractured at the edges, stress bleeding through ruthless control. And he won't stop. The baby's cry was different now. Weaker. Broken. The kind that came from a system pushed past its limit. I was out of bed before I could think. Give him to me. Damon hesitated, just a second. Then he crossed the room and placed the baby in my arms. The child was burning up. I pressed my hand against his forehead. He has a fever. How long has he been crying? 6 hours, Damon said roughly. 6. I stared at them. And you didn't take him to a doctor? We did, Nikolai said. 3 of them. He screamed harder every time. His vitals destabilized. They said it was a stress response, but they couldn't stop it. I sat on the edge of my bed, rocking the baby gently. His cries were hoarse now, exhausted. He'd cried himself raw. He needs safety. I murmured, lowering my scent barriers. Not more dominance. We're his fathers, Damon bit out. I know. I met his eyes. But right now, you smell like violence. Like rage. Like fear. And he can't handle it. Something in Damon's expression cracked. The baby's cries stuttered, weakened. His tiny body relaxed by degrees as my scent wrapped around him. What do you need? Nikolai asked quietly. Water. A cool cloth. And both of you to step outside for 5 minutes. No. Damon's response was immediate. Then stand in the corner and control your pheromones. I snapped. Because right now, you're making it worse. Silence. Then Nikolai touched his brother's shoulder. She's right. They moved to the far corner of my bedroom. I could feel their eyes on me, watchful, predatory, but their sense pulled back, regulated. The baby's crying faded to whimpers. I hummed softly, tracing gentle circles on his back. You're safe, I whispered. I've got you. His breathing evened out. The fever was still there, but his body was no longer fighting itself. Why does he respond to you? Damon asked after a long moment. I glanced up. Because I'm not trying to dominate him. I'm just here. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Nikolai moved closer, crouching beside the bed. This close, I could see the exhaustion in his face, the fear buried under all that control. We can't do this alone, he said quietly. He needs you. You don't even know me. We know enough. His silver eyes searched mine. You're kind. You're strong. And you put yourself in danger to help a child who wasn't yours. That doesn't mean... Someone tried to kill him, Damon interrupted. 2 months ago. A hit ordered from inside our own organization. The air went cold. He was in the room when it happened. Damon continued, voice flat. He saw things no child should see. And now, every time we're stressed, every time we're angry, every time we're afraid, he relives it. I looked down at the baby sleeping in my arms. So small, so fragile. Doctors can't help him, Nikolai said. Specialists can't help him. Gods make him worse. But you, I'm just an omega. You're his chance, Damon said roughly. Maybe his only one. The baby's hand curled into my shirt. I swallowed hard. What are you asking? Come with us, Nikolai said. Live at the compound. Help him regulate. Keep him stable. I'm not. I won't be owned. You'll be protected, Damon said. And paid. And if I refuse? They exchanged a look. Then Nikolai leaned forward. Then you'll be in danger anyway. Because now you know about the attempt on his life. You know we're vulnerable. You know too much, Rowan. His words were gentle. The threat was not. So my choices are, go with you or Or we protect you anyway, Damon cut then. But from a distance. Which means we can't guarantee your safety. I stared at them. At these lethal, desperate men who broke into my home because their son wouldn't stop crying. The baby shifted in my arms, made a small, content sound. How long? I asked. Until he's stable, Nikolai said. And after? After, you're free to leave. I didn't believe him. But I believed the baby needed help. 1 month, I said. Trial period. If it's not working, I walk away. Damon's jaw tightened. Nikolai's eyes gleamed. Deal, they said in unison. I looked down at the sleeping child. At his tiny, perfect face. At the trust already forming. And I realized I had just made my third mistake. The first was speaking on the plane. The second was letting them see what I was. The third? Agreeing to enter their world. They gave me 30 minutes to pack. I moved through my apartment like a ghost, throwing clothes into a bag, grabbing toiletries, trying to process what just happened. Damon stood in my living room, holding his sleeping son. Nikolai leaned against my kitchen counter, watching me with that predatory patience. Can I at least call my work? I asked. Already handled, Nikolai said. You've been given a month's paid leave. Family emergency. I froze halfway to my bedroom. You had no right. We had every right. His voice was soft, immovable. The moment you touched our son, you became our responsibility. That's not how consent works. His smile was sharp. It's how protection works. I wanted to argue, wanted to fight. But the baby was sleeping peacefully for the first time in 6 hours. And I knew that if I walked away now, he'd start screaming again. I hated that they knew it too. 15 minutes later, we were in an SUV with windows so dark I couldn't see out. The vehicle smelled like leather and gunpowder. 2 guards sat in the front seat, silent and armed. I sat in the back between the twins. The baby slept in a car seat between Damon and me, one tiny hand wrapped around my finger. I hadn't let go since we left my apartment. Every time I tried, he whimpered. How far is the compound? I asked. 40 minutes, Damon said. And if I change my mind? You won't, Nikolai said with infuriating certainty. I turned to look at him. You're very sure of yourself. I'm sure of what you are. His eyes caught the passing street lights. You won't abandon a child who needs you. It's not in your nature. He was right. I hated that he was right. The city gave way to suburbs, then countryside. Trees pressed close to the road. No street lights out here. Just darkness and the occasional security gate we passed through. The compound, when it appeared, looked like a fortress. Stone walls, guard towers, cameras everywhere. The main building was modern, brutalist architecture, all concrete and steel and sharp angles. Lights blazed from every window. We pulled into an underground garage. Stay close, Damon said as the vehicle stopped. He lifted the baby carrier. I followed them through a maze of corridors, sterile, monitored, designed for defense. Guards nodded as we passed. Everyone was armed. The elevator ride was silent. We emerged on the 5th floor. The hallway here was different, warmer, carpeted. The walls were painted soft gray instead of institutional white. Damon led us to a door at the end of the hall. Your room, he said, pushing it open. I stepped inside and stopped. It wasn't a bedroom. It was a suite. King-sized bed, attached bathroom, sitting area with a couch and television. Windows that overlooked what looked like a garden courtyard. Everything was clean, expensive, deliberately comfortable. The nursery connects through that door, Nikolai said, pointing. So you can hear him if he wakes. I turned slowly. This is too much. This is baseline, Damon corrected. You're caring for our heir. You'll have everything you need. The baby stirred in his carrier, face scrunching. I was across the room before he could cry, lifting him out, settling him against my chest. He relaxed immediately. There's a baby monitor in the nursery, Nikolai said. And guards outside your door. I don't need guards. You need guards, Damon said flatly. Someone tried to kill our son. We don't know who ordered it. We don't know who else is compromised. Until we do, everyone in this compound is either protected or suspect. Which am I? Both, Nikolai said. The baby made a small, content sound. His fever had broken. His breathing was normal. He needs to eat soon, I said. And I'll need supplies. Diapers. Formula. Clothes. Already in the nursery, Damon said. Everything he might need. How did you? We were prepared to bring you here one way or another, Nicholas said calmly. This was just faster. My stomach dropped. You were going to kidnap me? We were going to make you an offer you couldn't refuse. His smile was cold. This way is better. You agreed under duress. Under necessity, Damon corrected. There's a difference. I wanted to scream, wanted to run. But the baby was sleeping against my chest, and I could feel how much he needed this. Needed me. I want my phone back, I said. No. Nikolai's response was immediate. Excuse me. You'll have a new phone. Secure line. Vetted contacts only. He pulled a device from his pocket and handed it to me. Your old phone was a security risk. I stared at the burner phone in my hand. You're isolating me. We're protecting you, Damon said. There's a difference. Stop saying that when it stops being true. He moved to the door. There are clothes in the closet. Food in the kitchen. Anything else you need? Asked the guards. I'm a prisoner. Your family, Nikolai said softly. Then they were gone. The door closed with a quiet click. I stood in the center of the too large, too comfortable room, holding a sleeping baby who wasn't mine, in a compound that was really a fortress, employed by men who were really criminals. The baby sighed against my chest. So small, so trusting. I carried him into the nursery. It was perfect, soft blue walls, a crib with breathable mesh sides, a rocking chair by the window, shelves stocked with everything a baby could need. I laid him down carefully. He didn't wake. I stood there watching him sleep, his tiny chest rising and falling, and I realized something. I wasn't afraid of Damon and Nikolai. I was afraid of how much I already cared about this child. And that made me vulnerable in ways I swore I'd never be again. Behind me, through the closed door, I heard footsteps. Guards taking position. Protected. Trapped. I wasn't sure there was a difference anymore. The baby, Misha, I learned his name was Misha, woke at 3 a.m. Not crying, just awake. I heard him through the monitor, soft cooing sounds, the rustle of blankets. I was in the nursery before my brain fully processed movement, instinct overriding exhaustion. He was on his back, staring at the ceiling. When he saw me, his face broke into the first smile I'd seen from him. My chest ached. Hey, little one, I whispered, lifting him. Can't sleep? He babbled something, syllables without meaning, but the tone was content. Happy. I settled into the rocking chair, cradling him against my chest. The compound was silent at this hour, just the hum of climate control and the distant sound of guards changing shift. The nursery door opened. I tensed, but it was just Damon. He'd changed out of his suit into dark jeans and a black shirt. His hair was damp. He looked almost human like this. You're awake, he said quietly. He woke up. I heard him. Damon moved closer, studying his son. Misha reached for him, making grabbing motions. Damon's expression softened in a way that transformed his face. His name is Misha, Damon said. After our grandfather. The one who started the family business. His mouth quirked. You can say crime, Rowan. We're not ashamed of what we are. I wasn't being polite. I was being careful. There's a difference. He echoed his earlier words deliberately. Misha yawned, tiny fist rubbing at his eyes. I rocked gently, humming low in my chest. Damon washed with an intensity that made my skin prickle. You're good with him, he said after a moment. I've had practice. With other children. In another life. He didn't push, just nodded slowly. The attempt on his life happened during a meeting. Damon continued, his voice flat. Internal. People we trusted. Someone smuggled a weapon past security. For people died before we neutralized the threat. He paused. Misha was in the room. Why would you bring a baby too? We didn't have a choice. His jaw tightened. His mother died giving birth to him. There's no family we trust. No one's safe enough. So he stays with us. Always. The weight of that settled over me. No mother. No family. Just two ruthless men running a criminal empire, trying to protect an infant. Who ordered the hit? I asked. We don't know yet, Damon said. But we will. Misha had fallen back asleep. I stood carefully, carrying him to the crib. When I laid him down, his hand caught my finger again. Trust. Immediate and absolute. I extracted my finger gently, covered him with his blanket. When I turned, Damon was standing right behind me. Too close. I stepped back. Thank you, he said quietly. For coming. I didn't have much choice. You had a choice. His silver eyes searched mine. You could have fought harder. Run faster. Scream for help. But you didn't. Because he needs. Because you need this too, Damon said softly. Don't you? I froze. You said you had practice with children in another life, he continued. You said you know fear and how to stop it from spreading. You're running from something, Rowan. And whatever it is, it's bad enough that staying here, even with us, feels safer. My throat closed. I'm not going to ask what happened, Damon said. Not tonight. But eventually, we'll need to know. Because if someone comes looking for you, we need to be ready. No one's coming for me. You don't lie well. He reached out slowly, giving me time to pull away. When I didn't, his fingers brushed my jaw, just once. Gentle. Whatever you're afraid of, he said, it can't touch you here. You can't promise that. Yes, he said. I can. Then he was gone. The nursery door closed silently behind him. I stood in the dark, heart pounding, Misha sleeping peacefully 3 feet away. I should leave. Should run. But Damon was right. I needed this. Needed to feel useful. Needed. Safe. Even if the safety came from the same men who broke into my home. I checked Misha one more time, then returned to my own room. The bed was too soft. The silence too complete. I didn't sleep. Instead, I stood at the window, looking out at the compound gardens below, guard towers beyond. Walls everywhere. Fortress. Prison. Sanctuary. All three at once. And somewhere in this building, 2 men were hunting whoever tried to kill their son. I'd just become part of that hunt, whether I wanted to or not. The first week passed in a rhythm I didn't expect. Misha woke. I fed him, rocked him, sang to him in a voice I hadn't used in years. He responded to me like I was gravity. Essential. Constant. The thing that kept him grounded. The twins watched from doorways, from corners, from the shadows they seemed to inhabit naturally. They never interfered, but they were always there. On day 8, Nikolai appeared in the nursery while I was changing Misha's diaper. The baby kicked happily, babbling nonsense at the ceiling. We need to talk, Nikolai said. I fastened the diaper, lifted Misha against my shoulder. About you. He moved closer, studying me with that predator focus. You haven't asked to leave. Haven't tried to contact anyone. Haven't questioned why we have medical staff on site. But no doctors have examined Misha since you arrived. Should I be questioning that? Most people would. I rocked Misha gently. I'm not most people. No, his voice dropped. You're not. Silence stretched between us. Misha grabbed a fistful of my shirt, content. Who hurt you, Rowan? Nikolai asked quietly. I went still. You flinch when doors open suddenly. You position yourself near exits. You check windows obsessively. His eyes didn't leave mine. Those are trauma responses. Learned behavior. Someone taught you to be afraid. My throat closed. Was it an alpha? He pressed. I stopped breathing. I couldn't speak. Couldn't move. It matters if they come looking for you. They won't. How do you know? Because I made sure of it. The words came out harder than I intended. I made sure he thought I was dead. Nikolai's expression shifted. What did you do, Rowan? I met his eyes. Let him see the steel beneath the softness. What I had to. For a long moment, he just stared. Then his mouth curved. Approval, not judgment. Good, he said softly. Then we understand each other. He left without another word. Misha made a questioning sound against my chest. I kissed the top of his head, breathing in his baby powder said. It's okay, I whispered. We're okay. But my hands were shaking. The alarm went off at 2 a.m. Not Misha crying, not a monitor alert. A full compound breach alarm, piercing, relentless, designed to wake the dead. I was out of bed with Misha in my arms before my brain caught up. He was screaming now, terrified by the noise and my fear-spiked scent. The door slammed open. 2 guards I didn't recognize burst in, weapons drawn. Ma'am, we need to move you. Gunfire erupted somewhere below. Close. Too close. The guard grabbed my arm, pulling me into the hallway. More guards poured past us, heading toward the sound of fighting. The air reeked of gunpowder and alpha pheromones, aggression so thick it coated my tongue. Misha shrieked. I stumbled, trying to regulate my scent, trying to calm him. But there was too much happening too fast. An explosion rocked the building. The lights flickered, went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, red and stark. The safe room, the guard said. 3rd door on the... His head snapped back. Blood sprayed across my face. He dropped. I ran. Didn't think, didn't process, just moved. One arm locked around Misha, the other hand pressed over his head to muffle the noise. His cries were constant now, broken and terrified. Behind me, footsteps. Heavy. Fast. Stopping. I didn't look back. There was a door ahead. Reinforced steel. Biometric lock. I slammed into it, fingers shaking as I pressed my palm to the reader. Red light. Access denied. No, no, no. Rowan. Nikolai's voice, sharp and close. I spun. He was there, appearing from a side corridor, gun in one hand, blood on his shirt. Not his, I thought. His scent controlled violence, every instinct screaming danger. Misha screamed harder. Give him to me. No. Give him to me. He holstered his weapon, stepping closer. Your scent is spiking. He can't handle it. He was right. I could feel my pheromones spiraling, panic bleeding through every attempt at control. But my arms wouldn't release the baby. Rowan. Nikolai's voice gentle. I need you to trust me. More gunfire. Closer. I forced my arms to unlock. Nikolai took Misha with terrifying efficiency, tucking the baby against his chest, while simultaneously pulling me behind him. Stay close. He pressed his palm to the biometric lock. Green light. The door hissed open. We were through, and it sealed behind us with a heavy clunk. The safe room was exactly what it sounded like. Concrete walls, reinforced door, no windows. There was a crib already set up, supplies, weapons mounted on the wall. Nikolai carried Misha to the crib, but the baby wouldn't let go. His tiny fists were locked in Nikolai's shirt, face buried against his father's chest. He needs you, Nikolai said quietly. I crossed the room on shaking legs. The moment I was close, Misha's hand shot out, grabbing my sleeve. He wouldn't let go of either of us. Hey, little one, I managed, my voice wrecked. It's okay. We've got you. Nikolai lowered himself into the chair beside the crib, still holding Misha. I sank down next to him. The baby was sandwiched between us, one hand clinging to each. Outside, the fighting continued. Muffled now, but constant. What's happening? I asked. Someone breached the compound, Nikolai said, his voice flat, cold. They got past the outer perimeter, made it into the main building. How? Inside help. We'll know soon. Misha's crying had reduced to hiccuping sobs. His fever was spiking again, stress response. I pulled him carefully into my lap, letting Nikolai keep one hand on his back. We regulated him together, 2 sets of pheromones working in tandem. Nikolai's control, dominance. Mine steady. It shouldn't work. Alphas and omegas don't usually sync this easily. But it did work. Misha's breathing evened out. His body relaxed by degrees. "Where's Damon?" I whispered, handling it. Nikolai's eyes were hard. "He'll come when it's done. And if he doesn't, he will." Such certainty, such absolute faith. I wondered what it was like to trust someone that completely. Minutes crawled past. The fighting sounds faded, then stopped. Silence. Nikolai's phone buzzed. He checked it one-handed, never losing contact with Misha. "Clear," he said, "but we stay here until Damon confirms." "How many?" I asked. "How many what? How many people try to kill your son tonight?" His expression went dead. 6. All neutralized. Neutralized. Such a clinical word for slaughter. The door lock disengaged. I tensed, but it was Damon. He was covered in blood, definitely not his. And his scent was murder barely contained. His eyes swept the room, landing on Misha, then me, then his brother. "Everyone whole." His voice was rough. "Whole," Nikolai confirmed. Damon crossed to us, sank down on my other side. Now I was bracketed between them, Misha in my lap, their combined scent wrapping around us like armor. "Victor?" Nikolai asked. "Dead," Damon said flatly. He let them in, disabled the secondary alarms. "We have it on camera." His sister. Wasn't his sister. That was the cover story. She was his handler. He's been feeding information to our enemies for months. The betrayal ran deeper than I thought. "Who ordered tonight?" Nikolai asked. Damon's smile was terrible. "We're about to find out." We stayed in the safe room for 3 hours while the compound was swept, secured, bodies removed. Misha slept through most of it, exhausted by his own terror. The twins took turns leaving, checking reports, coordinating cleanup, hunting for additional threats. When we finally emerged, dawn was breaking. The hallway where the first god died had been cleaned. No blood, no body. Just pristine floors and the faint chemical smell of industrial cleaner. But I remembered. I remembered his head snapping back. The spray of blood. The weight of death happening 3 feet away while I held a baby. My hands started shaking. "Rowan." Damon's voice, low and steady. "Look at me." I did. Silver eyes, hard and sure. "You kept him safe," he said. "That's all that matters." "Someone died. Someone tried to kill you both," he corrected. "And failed. Because you ran. Because you fought. Because you didn't freeze. I didn't do anything. You survived." Nikolai appeared on my other side. "That's everything." They guided me back to my room. Misha was already asleep in Damon's arms. "Rest," Nikolai said. "We'll watch him." "I should." "Rest," Damon repeated, gentler this time. They left me at my door. I made it 3 steps inside before my legs gave out. I slid down the wall, wrapped my arms around my knees, and shook. I didn't cry, hadn't cried in years, but I shook, and couldn't stop. The door opened. "Nikolai." He crossed the room, sank down beside me, didn't touch, just sat there, solid and present. "First time you've seen someone die?" he asked quietly. No, my voice was barely a whisper. "But first time it's been because of me. It wasn't because of you. It was because of us." His tone was matter of fact. "Because of what we are. What we do. The enemies we've made. I shouldn't be here. You're exactly where you need to be." He shifted slightly. "Misha needs you. And whether you believe it or not, we need you too." "Why?" "Because you remind us what we're protecting." His silver eyes caught the morning light. "Not just our son. Not just our legacy. But something better. Something softer. Something worth keeping alive in a world like this." I turned to look at him. Really look. He was covered in other people's blood. His scent was murder and smoke. He was a monster by any measure. But his eyes were human. "Get some sleep," he said, standing. "We'll talk when you wake." He was gone before I could respond. I dragged myself to bed, still dressed, still shaking, and somehow, impossibly, I slept. I woke to voices. Sharp, angry, The twins arguing in the hallway outside my room. Can't keep this from her. We can, and we will. Until what, Damon? Until they try again. We handled the attack, not the threat. I was at the door before deciding to move, pressing my ear against it. The interrogation confirmed it, Nikolai said. They weren't just after Misha. They were after Rowan too. My blood went cold. We don't know that for certain, Damon argued. They had his photo, his description, orders to take him alive. Nikolai's voice dropped. This isn't about our son anymore. This is about him. Silence. Then, the ex, Damon said quietly. He has to be. No one else knows he's here. No one else has reason to want him. He said the ex thinks he's dead. Then someone told him otherwise. I stepped back from the door, heart hammering, mind racing. He found me. Somehow, despite everything, he found me. The door opened. Both twins stood there, their expressions telling me they knew I'd heard. Get dressed, Damon said quietly. We need to talk. They took me to a room I hadn't seen before, an office, or maybe an interrogation room. The line blurred here. There was a laptop on the desk, a file folder, photos I couldn't see from this angle. Sit, Nikolai said. I sat. Damon opened the folder, slid a photo across the desk. I didn't need to look. I knew who it was. But I looked anyway. Marcus. Still handsome. Still charming. Still the man who taught me that love was just another cage. This is him, Nikolai asked. Yes. His name? Marcus Torin. The name tasted like acid. Alpha. Wealthy. Connected. And obsessed with you. Nikolai pulled out another photo. Me, taken from a distance, outside my old apartment. Before I faked my death. He's been looking for you for 8 months. That's impossible. I destroyed everything. You destroyed your identity, Damon corrected. Not your scent signature. And he's been using private trackers, the expensive kind, to search for any omega matching your pheromone profile. No. The attack last night, Nikolai continued. 6 men, 4 were sent to breach and kill. 2 were sent specifically to extract you. He doesn't want to kill me, I whispered. He wants to own me. Not anymore, he doesn't. Damon's voice was cold. Because he's not getting within a mile of you. You don't understand what I understand he's a dead man. Nikolai's smile was sharp. The moment he sent people into my home, the moment he threatened my son, the moment he tried to take what's mine, he signed his own death warrant. What's mine? The words hung in the air. I'm not yours. No, Damon agreed. You're not. But you're under our protection. And that means anyone who threatens you threatens us. This isn't your fight. It became our fight when you walked onto that plane, Nikolai said. When you saved our son. When you agreed to stay. You're part of this family now, Rowan. Whether you want to be or not. I wanted to argue, wanted to fight. But they were right, and we all knew it. What do you want from me? I asked. The truth, Damon said. All of it. What he did. Why you ran. How you faked your death. So you can what? So we can kill him, Nikolai said simply. The answer was immediate. Unapologetic. I closed my eyes. He courted me. I said. Classic alpha bullshit. Gifts, attention, promises. I was young. Stupid. I believed him. You weren't stupid, Damon said quietly. You were hopeful. Same thing. I forced the words out. He wanted an omega he could control. Mold. When I didn't comply, when I had opinions, boundaries, a mind of my own, he decided to break me instead. Nikolai's sense spiked. Rage, barely controlled. He started small. I continued. Isolation. Cutting off my friends, my family. Making me financially dependent. Then it escalated. Control over what I wore, who I spoke to, where I went. If I disobeyed, my voice cracked. Damon's hand covered mine on the desk. Warm. Steady. You don't have to. Yes, I do. I met his eyes. If you're going to fight him, you need to know what he is. I told them everything. The punishments. The manipulation. The times he hurt me and called it love. The slow, systematic destruction of everything I was, until only fear remained. I told them about the night I decided to die. Not actually die, just make him think I did. A staged accident. A fake body. Every cent I'd hidden away spent on bribes and forgery. A new life built on ashes. By the time I finished, my voice was gone. Shredded. The twins sat in silence. Then Damon stood, walked to the window, stared out at nothing. Where is he now? His voice was dead calm. Chicago. Last I knew. And the trackers he hired. I don't know. I didn't even know he was looking. Nikolai pulled out his phone, typed something. I'm sending this to our people. They'll find him. What are you going to do? What needs to be done? Damon said without turning. You can't just. We can. He turned. His eyes were silver fire. And we will. Because he doesn't get to hurt you anymore. Not today. Not ever. He's connected. Wolfie, you can't just make him disappear. Watch us. The door opened. A guard entered. Sir, the vehicle's ready. Vehicle? I stood. Where are you going? Chicago, Nikolai said calmly. We have business. You're going after him now? Yes. You can't. Misha will be here, Damon said. With you. With a full security detail. He'll be safe. And you? Both twins smiled. It was terrifying. We'll be fine, Nikolai said. They were at the door when I spoke. If you kill him, I said quietly, I won't forgive you. They stopped. Turned. Yes, you will, Damon said. Because you'll finally be free. Then they were gone. They were gone for 36 hours. No calls. No updates. Just silence. I spent the time with Misha, trying to keep him calm despite the tension that permeated the entire compound. The guards were different now. Harder, more alert. Everyone knew something was happening. Everyone knew blood was coming. Misha fussed more than usual. He could sense my stress, my fear. I did my best to regulate, but it was hard when every sound made me jump. What if they failed? What if Marcus killed them? What if he came here? The thoughts spiraled until I could barely breathe. On the second night, Misha wouldn't sleep. Not crying. Just restless, uncomfortable. I walked him through the suite, humming softly, trying everything. Nothing worked. At 3 a.m., the compound alarm sounded. Not a breach, just the perimeter alert. Someone was coming. I clutched Misha tighter, backing toward the safe room. The door opened. Damon and Nikolai walked in. They were covered in blood, more this time, but they were walking, moving, alive. Relief hit me so hard I nearly collapsed. Is he? I couldn't finish. Done, Damon said flatly. It's done. Misha made a sound, not distressed, almost relieved, like he could sense the resolution, the safety. Nikolai moved closer, careful not to touch me with his blood-stained clothes. He won't hurt you anymore. Won't hurt anyone anymore. You killed him. Yes. I should feel something. Guilt. Horror. Grief for the man I once thought I loved. I felt nothing but relief. The trackers? I asked. Neutralized, Damon said. Every single one. We found his files. Everyone he'd hired. Every lead he had on you. All of it destroyed. And his connections? His family believes he died in a tragic accident. Car crash. Very unfortunate. Very final. Nikolai's smile was cold. No trail back to us. No vendetta for his family to pursue. Professional. Clean. Terrifying. You should rest, Damon said. We need to clean up. Debrief. Did he? I swallowed. Did he suffer? Both twins went very still. Do you want the truth? Nikolai asked quietly. I thought about it. About everything Marcus did. Every wound. Every scar. Yes, I whispered. Damon's smile was sharp. Then yes. He suffered. They left me with that. I should be horrified. Should be disgusted that I was glad they made him hurt. Instead, I sank into the rocking chair with Misha and finally breathed. The next morning, they were different. Cleaner. Calmer. The violence had been sated, at least temporarily. We sat in what I'd learned was their private office. Just the three of us, plus Misha, who was playing happily with soft blocks on the floor. We need to talk about what happens next, Nikolai said. My stomach tightened. I can leave now. No, both twins said simultaneously. The threat's gone. One threat is gone, Damon corrected. The one who tried to kill Misha is still out there. We've narrowed it down, but we haven't found them yet. And until we do, Nikolai added, you're staying here. That wasn't the deal. The deal changed, Damon said. The moment you became a target too. I'm not your responsibility. You're absolutely our responsibility, Nikolai said, leaning forward. You saved our son. You're caring for our heir. You're part of this family now. I'm an employee. You're more than that, Damon said softly. And you know it. I didn't know it. I'd known it since the plane. Since the first night I calmed Misha. Since I woke to them in my apartment and said yes. This stopped being a job weeks ago. What do you want from me? I asked. We want you to stay, Nikolai said simply. Not as an employee. Not as hired help. As family. I'm not. I can't. We're not asking you to bond, Damon interrupted. Not asking you to mate. We're just asking you to stay. Help us raise Misha. Be part of something bigger than survival. Why me? Because you're good for him, Nikolai said. And you're good for us. You barely know me. We know enough. Damon's eyes were steady. We know you're brave, kind, strong enough to survive hell, and gentle enough to soothe a traumatized infant. We know you make our son feel safe. We know. He stopped, swallowed. We haven't felt this steady since his mother died. He didn't say it, but I heard it anyway. Hope. And if I say no, I whispered, then you're free to go, Nikolai said. We'll give you money, a new identity, protection, everything you need to start over somewhere safe. But Misha, we'll survive, Damon said roughly. We'll find another way. We always do. I looked down at Misha. He'd pulled himself up using the coffee table, babbling happily at a toy. When he saw me watching, his face lit up. Pure joy, pure trust. I need conditions, I said. Both twins went still. Name them, Nikolai said. I'm not owned. Not by you. Not by anyone. I stay because I choose to, not because I'm trapped. Agreed, they said together. I want autonomy. Freedom to leave the compound. Friends outside this life. Agreed. And I want you to teach me to protect myself. I met their eyes. If I'm staying in this world, I need to know how to survive it. Damon's smile was fierce. Agreed. And one more. I took a breath. Find whoever tried to kill Misha. End them. Because I won't watch him live in fear forever. We're already hunting, Nikolai said. And when we find them, no mercy. Misha crawled over to me, pulling himself up using my leg. I lifted him into my lap. He immediately grabbed my finger, holding tight. Okay, I said quietly. I'll stay. The relief on their faces was almost painful. Thank you, Damon said roughly. Don't thank me yet. I looked at Misha, at his tiny, perfect face. You're stuck with me now. All my trauma. All my baggage. All my broken pieces. Good, Nikolai said. We're familiar with broken pieces. Misha babbled something that sounded almost like a word. We all stopped, stared. He did it again. Ma. My heart stopped. Is he? Damon moved closer. Mama, Misha said clearly. He was looking right at me. Oh no. I'm not. But Misha just smiled and said it again. Mama. I looked at the twins. They were staring at their son with expressions I couldn't name. He's never, Damon's voice cracked. He's never called anyone that before. Because his mother died giving birth to him, Nikolai said quietly. Because he's never had someone to call mama. Until now. Nikolai reached out, slowly, carefully, and covered my hand with his. It suits you. My throat closed. Misha leaned his head against my chest and yawned. Mama, he mumbled sleepily. And just like that, I wasn't a temporary employee anymore. I was family. For better or worse. Forever. 3 months later, everything had changed. Misha was thriving. His nightmares had stopped. His laughter came easily now, bright and frequent, everything a baby's laugh should be. He crawled everywhere, babbled constantly, and lit up every time I entered a room. He called me Mama without hesitation, and every single time, it broke something open in my chest. The compound had changed too. More security, better systems, but also softer edges. The guards smiled when Misha toddled past. The staff left small gifts outside my door. Books, flowers, things that said you belong here. Even the twins had changed. They were still ruthless, still dangerous, still men who solved problems with violence when necessary. But with Misha, with me, they were different. Gentler, more human. We'd fallen into a rhythm I didn't expect. Mornings were mine and Misha's, playtime, breakfast, learning new words. Afternoons, the twins joined us when they could. Evenings, we were together, a family that didn't look like any family I'd ever known. But it worked. It worked because we made it work. Rowan, Nikolai appeared in the nursery doorway. We need you downstairs. I looked up from where I was helping Misha stack blocks. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. But we have something to show you. I lifted Misha, settled him on my hip. He immediately grabbed a fistful of my shirt, his favorite security blanket. Downstairs, Damon was waiting in the main office. There was something on the desk between them. A folder. Sit, Damon said. I sat, Misha in my lap. Nikolai opened the folder, slid a photograph across the desk. I went cold. There was a man I didn't recognize. Older, silver hair, expensive suit, dead eyes. Who is that? I asked. Was Sergei Volkov, Damon said. Our uncle. Your uncle tried to kill his own nephew. He tried to eliminate the heir, Nikolai said flatly, so his own son could take our place. Family. The ultimate betrayal. Where is he now? I asked, though I already knew. Gone, Damon said simply. Along with everyone who helped him. Every conspirator, every enabler. We found them all. And his son. In custody, Nicholas said. He'll face a tribunal. Our people will decide his fate. Justice, I said. Not mercy. Exactly what you asked for. It's over, Damon said quietly. The threat to Misha. The betrayal inside our organization. All of it. Done. I should feel relieved. Victorious. Instead, I just felt tired. What happens now? I asked. The twins exchanged a look. Now, Damon said slowly, we rebuild. Make sure this never happens again. Strengthen our alliances. Protect what's ours. And you, Nikolai said, get to decide what comes next. I frowned. What do you mean? We told you that you could leave once Misha was safe, Damon said. He's safe now, so the choice is yours. My heart stopped. They were giving me an out. After everything, after months of building this life, this family, they were offering me freedom. You want me to leave? My voice was barely a whisper. No, both twins said immediately. We want you to stay, Nikolai continued. But not because you're trapped. Not because you're obligated. We want you to stay because you want to. And if I don't, then we keep our promise, Damon said roughly. Money, new identity, protection for life. You walk away with everything you need to start over. I looked down at Misha. He was watching me with those pale blue eyes, so much like his father's. So trusting. Mama stay, he asked. My throat closed. I looked back at the twins, at these violent, complicated, impossibly protective men who'd given me everything I didn't know I needed. Safety, family, purpose, home. I'm not going anywhere, I said quietly. The relief on their faces was immediate, devastating. You're sure? Damon asked. I'm sure. I shifted Misha in my lap. This is my home now. You're my family. And I'm not running anymore. Damon moved around the desk, knelt in front of me. His eyes were silver fire. Then we need to make it official. Official how? Nikolai produced a small box from his jacket, opened it. Inside was a ring, simple, elegant, a band of platinum with 3 small diamonds. We're not asking you to mate, Nikolai said carefully. Not asking you to bond. That's a choice that comes later, if it comes at all. But we are asking you to be family. Legally. Permanently. Misha's parent. Our partner in raising him. Co-guardian, Damon clarified. Equal authority. Equal rights. Your name on every document that matters. I stared at the ring. At them. At Misha, who was reaching for the shiny object with grabby hands. You want to make me his legal parent? We want to make you his mother, Damon said roughly. In every way that matters. Even though I'm not. You are, Nikolai interrupted. You have been since the moment he called you mama. Biology doesn't make a parent. Love does. Choice does. And you've chosen him every single day. Misha babbled something, reached for me. Mama up. I was crying. I didn't realize it until Damon reached up and brushed tears from my cheeks. Is that a yes? He asked softly. I nodded, couldn't speak. Just nodded. Nikolai took the ring from the box, slid it onto my finger. It fit perfectly. Welcome to the family, he said. Officially. Misha clapped. Mama. Dada. Papa. He'd been calling them that for weeks now. Dada for Damon. Papa for Nikolai. They'd nearly cried the first time. Now we were all crying. 3 ruthless people brought to their knees by a baby's joy. Damon pulled me into his arms. Carefully, always careful. Nikolai wrapped around us both. Misha was sandwiched in the middle, giggling at all the attention. Thank you, Damon whispered against my hair. For saving him. For saving us. Thank you for letting me, I whispered back. We stayed like that for a long moment. A family forged in violence and trauma and desperate hope. Not perfect, but ours. 6 months later, the garden was Misha's favorite place. I watched from the bench as he toddled after butterflies, laughing when they flew just out of reach. He was walking now, unsteady but determined, just like his father's. Mama, look, he pointed at a flower. Pretty, I agreed. Very pretty. Damon appeared beside me, 2 cups of coffee in hand. He passed me one, then sat. His presence was solid, grounding. Nikolai's on a call, he said. Business in Moscow. Should be done in an hour. I nodded, sipping the coffee. It was perfect, exactly how I liked it. They'd learned all my preferences, my tells, the small things that made me feel seen. I got a message today, I said carefully. From my sister. Damon went still. You have a sister? Had. I thought Marcus had made sure she'd never look for me. But she found me. Or rather, she found you. What did you tell her? Nothing yet. I didn't know if I wanted to let her back in. Do you? I watched Misha pick a dandelion and bring it to me like treasure. Maybe, I said quietly. If she can accept this life. This family. Then invite her, Damon said simply. Anyone who matters to you matters to us. Misha climbed into my lion. Dandelion clutched in his sticky fist. Mama. Flower. Thank you, baby. I kissed his forehead. It's beautiful. He beamed. Nikolai emerged from the house, phone tucked away. He crossed the garden with that predatory grace, then stopped. Just stopped and stared at us. What? I asked. Nothing. His voice was rough. Just this. You. Him. All of it. Damon reached out, pulled his brother down onto the bench beside us. Now we were a tangle. Misha in my lap. Me between the twins, their combined sense wrapping around us like armor. Safe. Protected. Home. I've been thinking, Nikolai said after a moment. About the future. What about it? Mishka's going to need siblings eventually. His eyes gleamed. Someone to play with. To protect. To carry on the family legacy. My heart skipped. Are you suggesting? We're suggesting, Damon interrupted, that when you're ready, if you're ever ready, we'd like to expand our family. With you. Only with you, Nikolai added. The implication was clear. They weren't just asking me to co-parent Misha. They were asking me to build a future. A real one. With them. My voice caught. I need time. You have all the time in the world, Damon said gently. No pressure. No expectations. Just possibility. Misha yawned, settling more heavily against my chest. His eyes were drooping. Nap time, I murmured. I'll take him, Nikolai offered. But Misha's hand shot out, grabbing my shirt. No, Mama. Nikolai's smile was soft. Of course, Mama. I carried Misha inside, the twins following like shadows. In the nursery, I rocked him slowly, humming the same song I'd hummed since that first night on the plane. He was asleep in minutes. I laid him in his crib, bigger now, toddler-sized. He looked so small, so precious, so worth fighting for. The twins stood in the doorway, watching us with expressions I'd learned to read. Love. Fierce, protective, all-consuming love for him. For me. I'm not ready yet, I said quietly. For more children. For bonding. For all of that. We know, Damon said. But someday, I continued. Maybe. If we're all still. We will be. Nikolai interrupted. We're not going anywhere, Rowan. Neither are you. I crossed to them, stood between them, let myself be wrapped in their presence. Thank you, I whispered, for giving me this, for letting me belong. Thank you, Damon said roughly, for choosing to stay. We stood there as Misha slept, as the sun set through the window, as the compound, this fortress, this prison, this sanctuary, settled into evening quiet. Somewhere in the city, threats still existed. Enemies still plotted. Danger still waited. But here, in this moment, in this room, with these people, I was safe. I was loved. I was home. And I was never running again.